watching Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy. Very excited to be speaking with Ed Shaffer of Alcatraz East. Ed, welcome to Mountain Fun Life and Morning in the Mountains.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Now, of course, we record the show. We do the show live from Pigeon Forge, and we're neighbors practically with Alcatraz East, which is located at the island at Pigeon Forge. Tell me about the latest and greatest exhibits, which including one that I'm really excited about, given that I was living in Los Angeles 25 years ago when the lovely Nicole Brown Simpson was brutally murdered, along with Ron Goldman.
Right. Her 60th birthday would have been this year.
Yeah.
And as you know, it wasn't just about OJ.
Yeah.
And the murder, as bad as that was. There was a person in Nicole that people tend to forget about as a victim.
Yeah.
We do that a lot in our museum.
Well, because we really hadn't heard of her prior to the murder. Everyone had heard of OJ prior to the murder, but Ron Goldman, and that was a complete unknown. It was his dad, Fred, who made an emphasis of saying, no, my son is somebody who was a victim and has done so much for victims' rights in his life for the past 25 years.
Very much so.
Yeah.
We worked with Nicole's family, her youngest sister, Tanya, and her oldest sister, Denise, in cooperation with those. And really, as part of the Crime Museum, we wanted to shed light on who Nicole was as a person. She was a mother, a sister, a daughter.
Yeah.
And being in the Crime Museum to shed a little light on domestic abuse.
And and because of the success of shows like CSI, which has been on actually probably longer than 25 years, we're all interested in crime scene and forensics, and that's what Alcatraz East is about. So many different aspects of the legal and the judicial and the criminal justice system.
Yeah, the whole museum is based at, our founder, John Morgan, was a tourist at Alcatraz East.
Yeah.
And at Alcatraz, excuse me.
As was I.
And,
I went there.
and,
I don't know if San Francisco.
he got an idea that would be a good thing for to put in place. We show everything from the crime itself, some criminals, famous criminals, not so famous criminals, then through the whole process of how the police investigate. All the CSI.
It's not unlike the old FBI museum that you used to be able to tour in Washington, D.C. I remember when my dad took us through the old FBI museum and they're firing guns into the Jello, or that back then they didn't have that. They shot it into a tank of water.
Right.
But they would put on these demonstrations and show you pictures of Al Capone, and here's the gun that Al Capone or that babyface Nelson or somebody had. Right. You have artifacts that have been recovered from various crimes.
Yes, our whole museum is filled with artifacts. Everything from guns from Jesse James's days to the mob, a lot of serial killers. And then you get into the CSI area where we have a feature on Dr. Bass. Everybody knows him.
I know Dr. Bass. I'm on his payroll. I got to admit. Let's be honest. I do work for Dr. Bass all the time.
So we show you solve crime, and then there is a consequence of crime. So we go into we have a police lineup in a courtroom and prison cells.
Yeah.
And then we have an area that's one of my favorite areas where we honor our policemen and folks that fight crime.
Excellent. So Alcatraz East is easy to find right on really the main thoroughfare through Pigeon Forge. You can see that it looks like a prison from the outside, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it was based on Alcatraz.
Of course.
With some elements from the Tennessee State Prison, which threw in a little bit of our East Tennessee pride there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I remember when you guys got the slow-speed chase Bronco from the Nicole Brown murders from many years ago. People said, how can that be? That Bronco was destroyed or impounded. It should be covered in blood. No, they didn't realize, as I did from back then, there were two Broncos.
Correct.
That OJ and his buddy AC were so tight, they had matching cars.
Right. Yeah, and it was actually, OJ's has been destroyed.
Right, that's had blood all over it, yeah. But Al's was the
one
one
we have
used
from the chase.
Down the 405. Oh, I remember that day.
Yeah.
And you also have the graffiti wall, I think, for the second year in a row.
Yeah, we just had our second annual graffiti contest. It's a really fun event. We hold it in our back parking lot, and again, graffiti is normally thought of as a crime.
Yeah.
But these days, graffiti's turned into something different.
From
There's a lot
vandalism to an art form.
exactly, and a lot of bigger cities, even Knoxville is hiring folks to do murals and
Oh, if you go through the
graffiti
alley
work.
behind Scruffy City Hall, there's some amazing wall art, including a huge Dolly Parton face.
Yep,
Yeah.
correct. So, and we've had folks come from Charlotte, Atlanta. You know, it's a contest we put on every year, and it's really fun to watch. You watch these folks paint, and they start out with a blank canvas, and color starts adding, and
Yeah.
in 3 or 4 hours, all of a sudden there's just a marvelous picture that pops up. So,
So, if I'm at home anywhere in America right now planning my visit to the Smoky Mountains and I want to come to Alcatraz East, what's the best way to plan that visit?
I would check out our website.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great website. It has all the information from prices, hours. Those change occasionally, so be sure and check that. We also have a great crime library that talks about just about any crime that you could think of in history, and it's got
You can
highlights of all of our galleries.
You can experience by reading the website, and then when you see the stuff in real life.
Yeah.
And of course, if we're already here in the Smokies, it's just a matter of driving down the street. And,
Yeah, you can't miss us. We're right at the entrance to the island, and the only prison in town that looks like a prison.
Well, Ed Shaffer from Alcatraz East, what a pleasure talking with you.
I've enjoyed it.
And I know we've had our camera crews over there too to look at some stuff. So we'll be talking more about Alcatraz East in the days and weeks to come here on Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life. Thanks so much, Ed.